we have had a good non-conference season to date. We got off to a great start and set a couple of records for the month of November, getting off to the quickest start. And now have continued to have a good record going in these last two games against McNeese on Thursday and then Texas next Wednesday. So guys have been working hard. I felt like we played a complete game against Samford. It was one that was hard to critique because we did a lot of good things. We were very consistent. And then the next game against Louisiana Christian, we're not very consistent. We're good in spurts, but went to the bench. Things didn't work as well as I'd like them to do. So we had plenty to work on yesterday and today in practice to get ready for McNeese. But again, good non-conference start. I know we were 7-1 at one time a couple of years ago during COVID. Had a bunch of home games, so we're excited about our start. Know that we need to work to get better.
What about McNeese? What kind of challenges do they potentially present?
They're athletic. They've got some high major transfers. They've got big guards, and they're more of a perimeter-oriented team. Kevin, if they can shoot the basketball, we got to make sure that they don't use the three-point line to their advantage, and we take advantage of it like we have been. And we've done a good job the last two games. If you look at Samford, the second half, were they 2 for 10? And then LC was 2 for 23. So we're going to need that kind of performance defensively at the three-point line to win this game.
Because they're perimeter oriented, is that why they kind of just look like they're kind of up and down this year?
Yeah, sometimes some teams have shut them down. Like they went to Tennessee and got beat bad. They were at Iowa State the other night, got beat bad, and they had 30 turnovers. Now, Friday night, they beat Northern Iowa at Cedar Rapids, and that's a great win. And they were able to win that game, and while committing 23 turnovers, they still won by 3. So they're a dangerous team, and I'm sure they'll do good in the Southland Conference.
They play good people. They've had a tough schedule, so they're pretty tested at least.
Right. They've had a couple of games at home against non-Division I opponents, and I think they hosted a little 2-game tournament where they played a couple of people. But, yes, they've been tested.
What about, you don't want to lose, exams as a potential stumbling block, a Christmas break right before conference. I mean, what about just maintaining through all of that?
Well, it has been good. We talked about last week. I thought it was the best exam week practice that we've ever had. And then Sunday we were good. Yesterday we started good, but we lost our focus after about an hour and a half. And so today we got to make sure that we've got a really great practice and just take the next one. Our goal is to be 2-0 this week. We got the first one Monday. Now it's the second one coming up. Then we'll focus on the next opponent.
Coach, everybody's game plan is going to be to kind of double team Jordan Brown and try to take him out of the equation. If McNeese is successful in doing that, what would be priority number one what's the next move to attack them?
Well, there are different things. We obviously can move Jordan around. He's going to get double and tripled every night, so that's part of our practice every day. We move him to different spots where he can be a passer and get some assists. I thought the other night he really did a good job and found Kentrell both these games this past weekend and kicked it out and got some assists. Also had a turnover too, but the game plan is to move the basketball and get them in rotation and then make them pay for it. And if we continue to shoot the ball, then that'll be option number one.
The conference season, we talked about it going at Sunbelt Basketball Media Days, y'all talked about it's kind of hard to figure, and some teams have really done well. I mean, do you have any early thoughts on the conference and how it's going so far? Excited
that we've got 5 teams in the top 100 with a net, or we did a couple of days ago, I guess, when I looked at it, and feel like we're off to a good start there. I think 7 schools maybe in the top 150, so that's half the league. That's good. But several teams have gotten off to a good start, like us. Marshall lost last night, but to UNC Greensboro on the road. But they've been very good at home. And then James Madison's done a really good job. And then Southern Miss has a great record too. And their schedule has been up and down, but they went to Vanderbilt and won, and went to Liberty and won. Those 2 places that are hard to win. So all those teams are off to a good start. South Alabama's played a difficult schedule, but they've got a really good team. Troy, same boat. There are a lot of dangerous teams in this league, and it's going to be a interesting conference season for sure, and conference tournament.
It seems like you've got the leadership part. I mean, y'all been road tested, and you're about to be really road tested again. Is there anything, I mean, as far as, okay, we need to get all these things done before conference that y'all haven't really done yet?
Yeah, we're trying to. We feel good about where we are, and we actually added some stuff yesterday. We'll continue to add stuff next week, because when we come back for Christmas, we'll practice the night of the 26th and then 27th here, and then bust to New Orleans and fly to New Orleans on the 28th. We'll practice at Coastal Carolina, and then we play the 29th, 31st. It's on. So there's not a lot of practice time at that point, because we're going to have no buys, and we'll have 2 games every week until we get to the end of February and the conference tournament starts. So these last couple of practices are important to add to what we're doing. And then once you get into conference, everybody knows their neighbor pretty well, and we'll have to change a few things and run some counters to our plays and some stunts to our defense, different things to keep people off balance. And then also you have to do that again at the conference tournament sometimes. So,
Coach, I know you said Kobe Julian is close to returning. What's the likelihood that he gets, a couple minutes here and there before conference play?
What's up to him. If he feels like he's ready, he's going to let us know. Had another good practice yesterday, really good practice, and he's close, but it's his decision. The doctors and trainers, we've talked to him, and whenever he's ready, he'll come back. So there's an outside chance he could play before conference.
There's playing time, and then there's the chemistry within plays and the teams. Not that everyone doesn't love one another, but what about just y'all kind of been doing things a certain way, and then him coming in? How do you incorporate him in?
I use this as a positive. I think a lot of times coaches in the league are hoping it'll mess up our chemistry, but we don't believe it will at all, because we're a tight-knit group, and there are 200 minutes every night to dole out, and he's going to get some of those minutes. So some other guys will get minutes cut and might not have as much opportunity. But if you're efficient, consistent, you're going to play, and we've got like 10 guys we feel like can play.